Hello everyone. So today we're going to show and I'm going to practice with you about how you take basically your drawing or the printout that I've given to you. You slipped it underneath this plastic sheet that we had worked on before. We had put our 1 centimeter grid on top of it. And now I actually have this. Now pretend this is like my final paper and I made this grid on there. So I have 1 centimeter here. And I also have 1 centimeter here. So it's a 1-to-1 scale. I'm not changing anything. I'm just duplicating this information on this page to here. This would actually all be in pencil, so it's easy to erase out later. And basically having a smaller scale like this actually helps you get a lot of the detail and the angles correctly. So it's a really good idea just to think about doing a smaller scale. These 1 centimeters definitely is going to help you out. So one thing that you guys need to do whenever you decide you've figured out your area that you're working with, I've actually blanked out what I didn't need with this white sheet of paper underneath it. And then later on, just ask me for an expo marker. Very carefully start labeling your A, B, all the way on top. That way you're able to go back later and figure out exactly what you need. If you get it on this Sharpie, it will erase it. Okay, keep that in mind. So I'm going to go grab my expo marker right now. And I'm going to label it. So I'm going to focus on these hands because everybody always says that hands are horrible. And I 100% agree. So let's make sure that we can practice them just by using this grid drawing. So I got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to go about to a 7. So I do that same thing on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a 7. So in 1, I can kind of see this little bit at the tip of the thumb that shows through. And I know it's a little bit difficult for you guys to see, but whenever you're working on your own picture, you'll be able to see exactly what you're doing. So I have this little tip of the thumb that shows through. I just have that on that little corner. I go down one more, and I can see the bottom part of the thumb that is on this really cool instrument. If you guys need to, again, I'm going to tell you, you guys can do the half grids on the inside if that helps you out. I'm just going to keep going. One thing to really think about is also making sure that you just focus on the outside. So I'm not adding in the thumbnail. I'm not worried about the crinkle on the edge of her, the thumb right here. I'd go back and I deal with that later because it's more important that I actually get all of this laid in correctly than it is for me to get the detail. That always comes last. Make a mistake, make sure you erase it, do it nice and clean, or just keep going back until you get it right. Got this wrist coming back towards us, curves back right here. Another interior finger, that's that one that shows through. Get this part of her hand right in here. A little bit of a triangle left in that one. Tuck that part in. Get that ooh, that's up a little bit higher. Fix that. Get that little bit of a wrist. Half of this is part of her clothing. Okay, so we go back up here so we can start on the next hand. Let me go finish this out real quick. That wrist is pretty flimsy, but that's okay. So I'm going to start up here with our index finger. It's also really important to pay attention to the angles. So this one's concave, so it bends in. This one's convex, so it bends out. These little details means a lot whenever you're dealing with hands. Especially whenever we start working on our rodeos with the horses. Ooh, that's tough stuff. That is really tough stuff. I'm going to go work on the pinky and then I'll worry about all the interior stuff. think I might. No, it's right. Okay. Let's go back up here to 4. Get this middle finger in. Like I'm telling you, those angles, that's the toughest part, but that's what makes the picture. Okay, that touches right here. Bend it on back. Little gap in between the fingers. Rest of the wrist right over here. And it tucks back into her shirt. We can see part of the instrument right here if you want to draw that out. Come straight up through 6 on that edge. Now, like, pretend now I'm going to go start back adding in my details. So I'm going to go back up here because I can see the general form. Start adding in this wrinkle. That way later on I can go back in and like start adding my shading. Makes it a lot easier on you. Just focus on the outside, go into the inside. Put that in some fingernails. A little joint there. Really wasn't too many except for some shadows that happen right here, and I just marked them out really quick. Nice shadow right in here. So that's how I duplicate. And I'm going to see if I can zoom in just a little bit to show it to you guys a little bit better. So you can see our 1 through 7, and you can see the hands, the one on the left that curls in. You can see a little bit of the detail that I started to add in, like the thumbnail, and then you can also see where I put the right hand. And pull this up a little bit closer. Move the camera a smidge. And you can see they're almost exactly the same. It's the easiest way how to trace without like basically tracing. And with these shows and competitions, that's what we're going to have to do. So granted, this was like a practice picture that I had, but whenever you guys have your pictures, make sure that it's either a picture you've taken, a family member has taken and given you permission to use, or it has to be considered royalty free or copyright free, and those are very, very difficult to find. I do have places that we can get them if you need them, but it's just better to avoid them because there's a lot of permission forms and all these different things that we have to do for our shows and competitions. So keep that in mind. So for our next video, we're going to go talk about a 1 to 2 scale. So basically we're going to take this 1 centimeter and make it 2 centimeters big. So we're going to actually start enlarging. So get ready for that. If you have any questions, need any help, please call me over. I'd be glad to help you out. See you guys next time.